Good, yeah? Let's get it.
We all belong to this city. A city that's never stayed in one place. Manchester made, world celebrate. You're talking about trends. We're the trendsetters. This city knows no borders.
Usato?
The world wears it now.
Menta.
Decentralized, but connected.
Ça fait 20 minutes qu'ils attendent. Dépêchez-vous, allez.
No matter where we are, we always stay true to this city. Round here, never been afraid to be our true selves. Cause in this game, it's not where you start, it's where you feel at home. We've never been afraid to trade in something new. Through the ups and downs, where would we be if we followed the status quo? Swear down, we do things differently here. Break down walls. Where else can you turn your back on the king? No matter what, we stand defiant in the rain. This is Manchester. This is City. This is OKX. Wherever we are, always setting the trends as a new alternative.
That was a video today shared by Manchester City through their sponsor OKX, which I thought really echoed about what Manchester City stand for, what being a Manchester City fan also stands for, and what the city of Manchester stands for, and the global impact it has on everybody else with this wonderful city and this wonderful football club. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I don't know about you, but it really psyched me up and made me really proud and passionate about what Manchester City are achieving both on and off the pitch, and just wonderful. So I wanted to share that with you guys. So anyway, today we're going to be doing a Manchester City transfer update. We've got no contract news to speak about. We've got no outs to speak about. We've just got a couple of stories from the ins, both very interesting, and two stories that I'm of course keeping my eyes and ears open with. So we'll start first with the ins, and we'll speak first about Tijani Reijnders over at AC Milan. He is 26 years old, soon to be 27 years old in July. Born in the Netherlands, plays as a central midfielder, plays for AC Milan. He's attracting interest from Manchester City. He's attracting interest from Real Madrid, according to Marca as well. Real Madrid looking for a new central midfielder this summer and are keen on signing Tijani Reijnders from AC Milan. Reijnders looking like he's going to be costing around £60 million this summer, which would be a club record sale for AC Milan. But an interesting development came out today. Fabrizio Romano has said that Manchester City are planning to launch their opening bid in the coming weeks. The player wants to focus until the end of the season before turning matters towards a transfer. I'm expecting Tijani Reijnders to leave AC Milan this summer. I'm not expecting too many more developments before we do get to the end of the season, so we're looking at a couple more weeks before Man City may choose to make their move for Tijani Reijnders. I'm looking at the transfer and I'm thinking it doesn't look overly that complicated. I think the biggest hurdle that we've got to deal with here is negotiating a fee that we're happy to pay. So it's all about what are Man City happy to pay and what exactly is the number that AC Milan are looking for. But the fact that we're getting reliability put on this story at this early stage, I think is very promising. Fabrizio Romano has said that Tijani Reijnders is Manchester City's top target when it comes to signing a number 8 this summer. Now, Sacha Tavolieri, who's been pretty accurate with City stuff so far this summer, has said that Manchester City officials have explored personal terms with Tijani Reijnders already. They're very confident that personal terms won't be a problem, that they will be agreed, and they firmly believe that Tijani Reijnders wants to go to Manchester City and nowhere else, which is of course always so important when it comes to Manchester City transfers. It's also very important when you see the previous transfers that City have done under the outgoing sporting director Chicky. He likes players who want to be at Manchester City because it gives us good negotiation power when it comes to negotiating a transfer deal. So, reading between the lines, I don't know this as fact, but if I had to hazard a guess as to which sporting director I think is leading these negotiations and pushing for this transfer, it looks more to me like a Chicky transfer than a Hugo Viana transfer. Hugo Viana likes the up-and-coming players, whereas Chicky likes to be very careful about who he wants to target and bring to Manchester City, and City have been long-term admirers of Tijani Reijnders, so I think a lot of background work has gone into this transfer, and I think Manchester City are just looking to try and get a head start to ensure we fend off the competition. And right now, more so than any other midfielder, I'm pretty confident that City can get a Tijani Reijnders transfer sorted sooner rather than later. I don't think it will come in time for the start of the Club World Cup, but definitely something that will be sorted this summer heading into next season. Very exciting. Would love to know your thoughts of that though, guys, in the comments below. Now, moving on to the other transfer I want to speak about, and the other midfielder City have been heavily linked with right now is Florian Wirtz over at Bayer Leverkusen. The 22-year-old attacking midfielder, German international, having a brilliant season once more with Bayer Leverkusen. One of, if not the hottest prospect on the market this summer, not just for midfielders, but any player out there. Manchester City interested, Bayern Munich interested, and Liverpool have entered the party as well. So, after some conflicting rumours going around about what was happening with Florian Wirtz on Tuesday when he flew over to England, some rumours were saying that he'd flown to Blackpool Airport. Some other rumours have been knocking around saying he's not flown into Blackpool Airport, he'd flown in to the airport at BAE Systems, which is in Wharton on the Fylde coast, rather than Blackpool, which is only 2 miles away from where I grew up. I've got family members that live very close by to BAE Systems, so all very close to home for me, so we really brought this transfer into perspective for me. Anyway, Kicker had brought out news yesterday that Liverpool had met with Florian Wirtz's parents on Tuesday to discuss a move. Some rumours were going around that this meeting had taken place at the airport, and the player and his entourage, which is his parents, were at the airport for over an hour before departing to go and talk with Manchester City. It's all just rumours. I feel like there is a little bit of a game being played. I'll speak about that in just one moment. But Christian Falk says that Liverpool did meet with Florian Wirtz's family to discuss a move. But some of the rumours are saying that he'd landed in Blackpool, spoken with Liverpool, then went to Manchester. Some are saying that he landed in Blackpool, went to Manchester, then went to Liverpool, and then made his way back to Blackpool, and then flew back to Germany, which I'm not entirely sure about what's going on. And I feel like there's a lot of guesswork and reading between the lines again, because that happens a lot with transfers. I feel like the game that's being played here is coming very much from the Florian Wirtz and Bayer Leverkusen side this week, rather than from Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich had played their game last week with leaking out all kinds of information about agreements made with the player to get Bayer Leverkusen under pressure, and Bayer Leverkusen want to respond with that by getting in contact with interested parties like Manchester City and Liverpool, and telling Florian Wirtz's father to go and discuss moves with them because they want to sell to the Premier League, they want to sell to a foreign club, but not to Bayern Munich. And Manchester City, of course, over the last couple of days have been stepping up them talk, doing everything they can to try and convince Florian Wirtz to come to the club. They're willing to spend more than any other club to make the Florian Wirtz deal done. And as I was saying yesterday, we can't accuse Man City of not doing everything in their power to try and make the transfer happen, but ultimately the decision will come down to the player, which is exactly where we're at right now. I'm not 100% that he's met with Liverpool. It doesn't seem like the kind of transfer that Liverpool would do, mainly because Liverpool tend to go with cheaper players that they can produce produce and make into world-class players who they can ultimately then either help them to achieve their goal of winning Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues on a regular basis, or they can move these players on for profit or turn players into the best players in the world. They don't tend to go for ready-made prospects like Florian Wirtz, so they tend to go with players who are under the radar, players who they can pick up for a good price, whereas they're going to have to pay top dollar to bring Florian Wirtz in, and Liverpool have been linked with various names over the last year or two, and none of them have materialised. It's just Liverpool's name's been used, and I feel like that's what's happening here. And I can argue a case that I feel like Man City's name's been used a little here, because I do genuinely believe that Florian Wirtz likes being in Germany. He's a German international, and most players that play in the Bundesliga who are of German heritage, obviously, and players that are born in Germany who represent Germany tend to take one direction, and that tends to be playing for the biggest and best club in Germany, which is Bayern Munich. It's just Bayern Munich are struggling with the cash, which I think is Man City's hopes here. But it all depends, because rumours have come around today saying that Florian Wirtz is angling more towards a move to the Premier League because he's not happy with the tactics that Bayern Munich have used. Apparently his father's unhappy with that. We'll have to wait and see. David Ornstein has confirmed that if Florian Wirtz was keen on a move to England, then Liverpool are interested, but he says it does remain unclear as to whether Florian Wirtz does want to leave Germany at this point. And Sky Sports News have said that Liverpool didn't meet with Florian Wirtz and his family on Tuesday, and right now are not interested in making a move, but should he decide that he is keen on a move to England this summer, then Liverpool would be interested. Liverpool do believe the player is off to Bayern Munich, so it's all about this poker game that's being played. My instinct here, and this is based on no fact, it's just my instinct here, I don't think Florian Wirtz wants to leave Germany. I think he wants to play for Bayern Munich. I think Bayer Leverkusen and Florian Wirtz's entourage, including his father, want the best deal possible, so they will have listened to what Manchester City, and if they've spoken to Liverpool, what Liverpool have got to say, to take that to the negotiation table, to get Bayern Munich to pay more money to the player, to pay more money to Bayer Leverkusen, and acting in their best interest, whereas Man City are going out of their way to try and make a transfer happen. Bayern are dragging their heels, which I think is where all these rumours are coming around, and excitement that maybe that is just starting to turn Florian Wirtz's head. We're still away on a decision, and I'm sure this saga is 100% definitely not over. But the one thing I would read between this, because I've seen various people have commented this already, so I wanted to address it on the video. All this could have been sorted over a phone call. He didn't need to travel to England, and yes, it does suggest that he would be interested in the move to England, but I think it's really important to remember a couple of days ago when the reports were coming out about Florian Wirtz and these heavy links with Manchester City rather than going to Bayern Munich, they were all saying this unhappiness was coming from Bayer Leverkusen, Leverkusen's end, that Bayer Leverkusen wanted him to be sold to a foreign club, and they want his father, who they're unhappy with that these discussions have taken place with Bayern Munich, that they want his father to actively seek to go out and try and find a move elsewhere. We saw Erling Haaland's agent Raiola at the time, before he sadly passed away, do this as well. He ultimately ended up at Manchester City, where I think, reading between the lines, when you know in hindsight what does happen, that it always looked like it was going to be Manchester City, but he just went on a random trip around Europe speaking with interested parties, and it's just to make it look like, it's for show, it's to make it look like the player and his entourage are doing everything they can until ultimately he ends up joining Bayern Munich. And right now, last couple of days, I was swaying more towards maybe Man City could make it happen right now. Over the last 24 hours, I feel like it's more likely he would stay in Germany with Bayern Munich. And I think Bayern Munich have got the added-on bonus here that they are prepared to wait for Florian Wirtz. They could get a pre-contract agreement in place for a cheaper price this summer, but he doesn't end up joining Bayern Munich until next summer. Real Madrid not interested in this summer, but are interested next summer. They're also another interested party. It's a saga that will go on and on and on. So strap yourselves in. Things can change as of right now. Not feeling that confident, but I was confident yesterday. And who knows, tomorrow I might be really confident again. So as I said, strap yourselves in. It's a journey. It's a saga. We get them every summer, and this summer, no different. The Florian Wirtz saga. Where will he go? What will happen? Who knows? Let me know in the comments below. So that has been today's video. If you did enjoy this video, please do leave a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Let's go 700 likes once more. Smashed it in the last one. Let's see if we can hit 700 likes once more in this video. That would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget to let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe if you're new around here. We're aiming now for 44,000 subscribers, so any help towards that would be great. Remember, daily Manchester City transfer updates from June 1st for you guys to enjoy. Also, don't forget as well to go and check out my social media links. They're in the description if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships or any videos or any general business inquiries, and I'll see you all again real soon for the next one. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.